we amended Chiluba, not we, Chiluba amended the Constitution. What did he do? He now changed it. Now, the language is very important. We fight over words in court. We now have Article 35. It now says, subject to clause 2 and 4. They changed the language. Every president shall hold office for a period of 5 years. Although the language has changed, the substance remains the same. The tenure of the office of president is 5 years. Then they now go ahead and say, notwithstanding anything to the contrary contained in this Constitution or any other law, no person who has twice been elected as president shall be eligible for election to that office. You see, the language has changed. We are talking about 2 5-year terms. They're now saying, forget it. We're no longer dealing with two 5-year terms. We're now talking about the number of times you get elected. It doesn't matter how long you are in the office, as long as you've been elected twice. Okay? You're not eligible. You understand the logic behind that. Now, if you limit, you insist, no, it just because the 1991 created a problem. Remember, it is talking about 2 5-year terms, right? Meaning, I can be in the office for 4 years, 11 months, and 3 weeks, right? And then I resign. That won't count as 5 years, which means I'm eligible to stand again. Now, if you allow that situation, you're going to have a life president. I'll just be resigning even a day before the 5-year term. I resign. I remain chairman of my party. I'm sponsored again. I can go on forever. That is what the Constitution says. You know what? We don't care how long you stay in office. You can resign, do whatever. It's like, you have a 5-year period. Guaranteed. So if you want, you can exhaust it. If you want, you can resign. We don't care. But as long as you are elected, it counts as one. Once you've been elected, you can only be elected for the second time. Once you've been elected twice, that's it. You're gone. That is the position of the Constitution in 1996. Now, that position remained the same up to 2016. 2016, President Lungu signed the Constitution Amendment Bill into law. Now, what does it say currently as the Constitution stands? Now, you see, now there is a clause here. The language has changed again. It now says in Article 106.3, it says, a person who has twice held office as president is not eligible for election as president. Okay? It is twice. Okay? Now, there is a difference now. They have moved away from election to holding office. Now, there is a reason for that. Before 2016, you could not become president unless you were elected. For example, when Mwanawasa died in 2008, it was just, I think, 3 years before the term could end. We went for election. That is how President Rupia Banda was elected. Now, he was elected to complete the remainder of what started off as Mwanawasa's tenure. Okay? So, you could not ascend to the office of president unless you are elected. Until election, you are merely performing the functions of the office of president, but you don't occupy. You are not the occupant of that office. You are simply performing the functions of that office. The office remains empty until somebody is elected. Now, the Constitution is responding to the changes. Why are we talking about holding office as opposed to being elected twice? We're now talking about holding office twice. The reason for that is simple. Now, under the 2000 amendment, we have created the office of vice president. Now, remember, the vice president is not on the ballot as president. No, the actual person who receives mandate to govern is the president. The vice president, simply the running mate. Now, the law now is that if the president dies, you don't go for elections. Automatically, the vice president gets sworn into office.
And finishes your term.
Finishes the term. That is why you could hold office of president without being elected. That is why there is this language to say you have held office twice. Okay? That is what we're talking about. But when you are president, you don't die. Right? You can only hold office twice. Okay? Twice. Now, remember, we have moved away from 91, where we are talking about 2 5-year terms. Now, we have abandoned that. We're not interested in the number of years you're going to be president, because it's entirely your prerogative. Okay? Because you can decide to resign, you can, whatever can happen. You can decide to cut your term short. That is entirely your prerogative. But we are saying, whatever you decide, it will count. Okay? So that is where we are now, and that's what we are saying.
But Article 106, doesn't it say the term of office? It touches on the actual term of office, being 5 years.
No. You see,
Article 1061, the term of office for a president is 5 years.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's still dealing with
the
number of years. Yeah.